Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us virtually today. As President and CEO of CBV Institute, I'm pleased to be able to deliver our 2020 Joint Leadership Address with Anish Chopra, our newly elected chair of our board of directors, in a safe and socially distanced manner. A few years ago, we charted a new course for the future of our Chartered Business Valuator profession by articulating a new statement of mission and vision, which we called our Path to Leadership. The founders of our profession in 1971 embraced professionalism and high standards as the vision for our field. We have that same duty today to embrace the high standards for professional excellence. This allows CBV Institute and the CBV designation to be held in high esteem and has earned us a place as the leader of the global business valuation profession. Our institute continues to adapt and evolve to advance the CBV profession to the forefront of business change. The world is changing around us, and we need to be ahead of the change. So as we approach our 50th anniversary, I want to begin with a recognition that the business landscape is evolving more quickly than ever before. COVID-19 has shaken up the world, propelling forces of change at a rate we've never seen before. This rate of disruption in the world can be frightening and at times even worrisome. But during challenging periods such as these, it is of benefit to remember that we are all in this together. So it is within this context that Anish and I present this year's leadership address. First, I would want to recognize that this is a tough time for a lot of our members and students. As an institute, we are here to support you, which is why we have taken several significant steps so far, including sharing available resources for mental health and well-being to support you, sponsoring a webinar on the practical tools for an effective at-home workday to help you cope with the challenges of working in a remote environment, providing a partial deferral of fees in the program of studies and for the 2020 MQE, offering past webinars free of charge to members and students, collaborating with other VPOs to sponsor virtual town halls on the impact of COVID-19 to the global business valuation and appraisal profession, facilitating practitioner roundtables and virtual chats dealing with COVID-19, and surveying our members and students to understand what is important to you. I want to assure you that we will continue to navigate and adapt to the post-pandemic world. Anish and I are pleased to share our results with you today. I will discuss our operational milestones while Anish will report on governance matters, as well as some exciting initiatives we are pursuing under our strategic plan. Together, we are committed to leading the CBV profession, ensuring it is a forward-looking organization. Now I would like to ask Anish to say a few words. I've had the pleasure of working with Anish over the last 3 years, and I'm looking forward to another successful year under Anish's leadership as the board chair. Anish, over to you.
Thanks, Mary Jane. Hi, everyone. I'm honored and excited to be the chair of the board of directors for the year 2020-2021. I have been a member of the board of directors of CBV Institute since 2017. I am very excited about the direction the Institute has been moving in, including our 3-year strategic plan that was launched in early 2019 and is now being implemented, having reached the halfway mark last month. It is my privilege to now chair the board of directors as we guide the CBV profession through a new, challenging business environment. Let me start with a little bit about what the board of directors actually does. First of all, the board's principal role is the governance of the Institute's affairs and its strategic priorities for the betterment of the CBV profession and the protection of the public interest. Our governance model is one of oversight, foresight, and insight. This year, we are a board of 13 directors, of which 6 CBVs represent our 6 regions in Canada. The remaining 7 directors are nominated by the Governance and Nominations Committee of the board and are then elected by our members at the annual meeting of members. The at-large director nominations arise through a rigorous selection process to ensure that the experience of the candidates aligns with the current strategic needs of the Institute and is representative of the membership dynamics. Every seat on the board plays an active and important role in supporting the Institute to meet strategic goals. The board year runs from June to June. Last year, your board met a total of 5 times and also held a one-day strategic session to focus on the future of our profession. In between board meetings, all of our board directors join our members by serving on select committees and councils of the Institute, as well as task forces established by the Institute throughout the year. These committees, councils, and task forces met several times throughout the last year. And finally, the board's 2019-2020 agenda was driven by our shared commitment to a strong future for the CBV profession. It is the responsibility of your board to provide stewardship and governance towards its fulfillment of our strategic goals. We will continue this careful oversight as the Institute evolves. We share highlights of our board deliberations in our leadership report, which is issued to our members and students after each board meeting. The strong vision and leadership on the board of directors will be important now more than ever, as it was announced earlier this year that Mary Jane will be leaving her position as president and CEO of CBV Institute. I wanted to take a moment to thank Mary Jane for all of her hard work and accomplishments in this position over the past 5 years. Mary Jane, your leadership and stewardship of CBV Institute will be greatly missed.
Thank you, Anish. That is very kind of you to say. After 5 years in this position, I will be embracing a new challenge, my retirement. The transition to a new president and CEO affords an exciting opportunity for the Institute, and I am confident that a new president will be able to pick up exactly where I've left off. And I think that's a good segue to reflect upon our operational achievements. Once again, we retained our strong financial position in 2019 while delivering on several ambitious projects. Our net assets increased from 2.9 million to 3.1 million, ensuring the financial well-being of the Institute against unforeseen uncertainty, prudent now as ever. We ended the year with a bottom line income of $217,000 due to investment income and gains on our $2.5 million investment portfolio, the majority of which is in bonds which are professionally managed. Our membership and course enrollments continue to grow at the 4 to 5% rate. We continue to sponsor and support the development of valuation research through our sponsored research initiative and the promotion of papers authored by CBVs. In 2019, 2 editions of the respected CBV Journal of Business Valuation were produced, containing a total of 20 papers. And one of the Institute's sponsored papers, titled Decrypting Crypto, was presented at the 11th International Valuation Conference in New Zealand last fall. We pursued inter-organizational collaboration where possible, raising the profile of CBV Institute. Working with our alliances broadens the reach of the CBV and helps ensure its ongoing relevance and leadership, not only in Canada, but within international professional circles around us. In 2019, we participated in CPA Canada's Foresight Project, exploring how drivers of change will impact the future of the accounting profession. In 2020 to date, we sponsored 2 virtual town halls on COVID-19 and the global impact to business valuations in collaboration with ASA, RICS, and NACFA. Within CBV Institute's program of studies, we launched several successful initiatives, from validating course content and developing e-learning modules to promoting high visibility and networking events on the campuses of major Canadian universities. I am particularly proud of the launch of our Young Professionals in Valuation program in 2019, which we affectionately refer to as our YPV. This program is an inclusive series of networking events for the next generation of CBV leaders. The YPV Organizing Committee is incredibly active and passionate about our profession and hosted 7 successful YPV events last year across the country in its first year alone. We are continuously thinking about how to provide today's CBVs with the exceptional tools and range of expertise they require to be highly sought after valuation specialists and business leaders. Our CBD programs delivered over 7,000 hours of CPD. Although our CBV Congress 2020 was canceled, we were able to shift most Congress technical content to an online model. We hope to get together next year in a safe environment, but we will have to wait and see. We continue to investigate adoption of international valuation standards. The Institute published 2 documents on our website, the first on what is IVS and what CBVs should know. The second document presents technical aspects of IVS in greater detail and identifies areas of differences for CBV practitioners. And we call this our Bridge Guide, which we recently co-branded with the International Valuation Standards Council. Our Bridge Guide is now attracting attention around the world. And we will soon be launching our very own e-learning course in IVS, which was developed internally with assistance from several CBVs. Our practice inspection program undertook its first year of inspections in 2019, and the results were generally positive. In 2019 and early 2020, the Institute held several roundtables in cities across the country, offering a new opportunity for CBVs to engage in open conversation with Institute leadership. I had the pleasure of attending all roundtables, meeting many of our members and having honest conversations about issues important to them in their markets. Our plans to host further roundtables in 2020 were canceled by necessity, so we are now looking into ways to have further engagement in a safe environment. Finally, we held our first ever CBV Women in Valuation event in Toronto in support of International Women's Day, and we will continue to host similar venues across the country. So to sum it up, it has been a busy time. We have accomplished a great deal, but there's a lot more to do. We are well positioned to achieve the collective vision of our future that we know is attainable. I would now like to call upon Anish to discuss achievements in governance processes and progress on our strategic objectives.
Thank you, Mary Jane. The board is guided by the path to leadership that commits the Institute to best-in-class governance. I am pleased to highlight changes implemented this year to upgrade our technological capabilities and increase accessibility and governance transparency. These changes are as follows. First, we held our first virtual annual meeting of members last month, where voting was by electronic ballot. To maintain an efficient and accessible electoral process, we will implement electronic voting in our regional elections beginning with the province of Quebec in 2021 and finishing with the Ontario region in 2023. Coincident with the technology upgrade and to promote fair and equitable regional representation, we made revisions to certain voting regions by including Canada's territories and realigning the province of Ontario by bifurcating the city of Toronto from the rest of the province. And finally, we made a number of changes to our bylaws, ranging from housekeeping measures to allow for virtual meetings, to increasing the size of our Conduct and Discipline Committee, and facilitating the reinstatement of suspended members and students for failing to comply with CPD and practice inspection declarations. In our September strategic session, we took a deep dive into the world of data science and artificial intelligence, concluding that we must make the most of the opportunities that AI represents. This can be accomplished through increasing training around the soft skills of critical and creative thinking, and considering the future roles, skills, and careers of our CBVs. Recognizing the rapid innovations in AI that are reshaping business and the economy, the board approved the establishment of a transformation and innovation fund toward the future forward development of our education program in this area. With the cancellation of CBV Congress 2020, we lost the in-person celebration with the recipients of our awards for academic excellence, CBV Professional Excellence, and the esteemed FCBV and Life Member Honors. However, we pivoted quickly and hosted our first live stream presentation that was accessible and safe for all in these unprecedented times. This virtual platform gave us the opportunity to honor our awards and honor recipients, not only with our CBV community, but with their family and friends as well. One of the challenges that CBV Institute faces is the fact that there is more to be done for members, students, and stakeholders than it has resources to accomplish. That is why it is critical to have a solid strategic plan in place to define our direction and articulate what will constitute future success. Think of the strategic plan as a compass, guiding CBV Institute decision-making and ongoing operational work. 4 key strategic objectives were identified for 2019 through 2021. These priorities are critical to achieving our vision. Our 4 strategic pillars are, first of all, build knowledge, be the highest profile provider of valuation-related education. Secondly, build reputation, expand and maintain the best reputation for professional excellence in the valuation ecosystem. Thirdly, build member value, be a high-performing, member-centric organization. And last but not least, build CBV demand, grow demand and awareness for CBV expertise. We have defined initiatives for each strategic pillar, and we have specific actions to support each initiative. At each board meeting, we review the progress on implementation, the KPIs, or the key performance indicators, which tell us how well we are doing and modifications we may need to make to adapt to changing market conditions. We are now at the halfway mark, and I am pleased to report that we have executed on close to 70% of our initiatives. In the last year, to build knowledge and reputation, we continue to improve the quality of our courses, profiled our CBV-sponsored research on international platforms, continued to explore implementation of IVS, and promoted CBV with key third-party organizations. And secondly, to build member value and demand for CBV services, we continue to increase CPD offerings, actively solicit feedback from members and students, establish task forces to discuss improvement to our 100 and 200 series practice standards, and actively engaged in collaboration with other professional organizations. As you can see, with such a robust vision and strategy, there's no shortage of work to be done, especially in the challenging environment in which we are all now operating. However, I firmly believe all the pieces are in place to ensure we will fulfill our strategic goals and be the organization by which others measure themselves. I would now ask Mary Jane for a few closing comments before I give some of my own. Mary Jane?
Thank you, Anish. In closing, I would like to thank our staff in the Office of the Institute, our board of directors for their guidance and counsel, our professional colleagues for their input, our students for investing their trust and future in us, and importantly, the hundreds of dedicated volunteers who freely contribute their time, talent, and wisdom to help us reach our goals. I truly appreciated everyone's hard work and commitment. None of our work nor our accomplishments would be possible without your support. I'm exceptionally proud of what we have achieved together. I believe that the secret sauce of our profession is what I often refer to as the CBV camaraderie, the way we respect each other, the passion we have for our CBV profession, and the conscience to do the right thing. Those are the CBV hallmarks that have withstood the test of time and will ensure we continue to prosper for the next 50 years and beyond. Our founders would be so proud of what we have accomplished. I will now pass closing remarks to Anish.
Thanks, Mary Jane. The board is honored to have the support of our community of dedicated CBV members, students, and professional colleagues who serve on multiple committees, councils, task forces, and focus groups. They act as course instructors, course authors, MQE authors and markers, and case competition judges. They are participants in university events, workshops, seminars, and webinars, and they are authors, researchers, and speakers at public events. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all of you, as well as to the Institute team, for their leadership and stewardship of our Institute. In closing, we will be vigilant about driving our leadership position to support the leadership transition we are about to undertake. To achieve this, the Institute needs your support. Your ideas, involvement, enthusiasm, and participation are all welcomed. We are committed to delivering on our vision. With you, we are evolving to propel our profession forward, and we are confident that we can accomplish amazing things for the CBV together. Once again, thank you, Mary Jane, for all of your hard work and unwavering commitment to CBV Institute. Your leadership and dedication to the profession will be missed. This concludes our 2020 Leadership Address. We're delighted you could join us, especially during these extraordinary days of 2020. We wish everyone well, and please stay safe.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Be well.